Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your end of December 2016 general tarot reading. It's Raina here. Yes, I have already laid out the cards because I had to start over again. I was kind of going off on a tangent and I don't want to have to edit. It's just kind of difficult to do so on YouTube. Well, maybe it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. I just figured I'd start over. So the overall theme is the Four of Wands. This is a card that relates to a happy home. And this can be, the number 4 relates to foundation. So, and also marriage, I would say too, the Four of Wands. So this can be either that this is on your mind, or your goal. I think it's really interesting that in the recent past that we have the Empress card, which is a sensual card. It can be the card of any kind of artist, or it's a mother energy. So these two cards together may be that some of you are considering staying at home and raising your children rather than maybe you are, some of you are pregnant, or if you are a man, you are making preparations because one of you wants to be home with your child, and you want to provide your child a foundation, and you don't want to have both of you working. So that could be on your mind for some of you. Also, the Four of Wands can indicate that your marriage, that you're holding your marriage, and marriage meaning committed partnership. It doesn't have to be a legal connection, but that significant other, you're holding them and your home life in high regard, and there could have been some other person that threatened that. So it might be that this Empress is another person, specifically a Libra or a Taurus. And yes, it is a feminine energy, so it could be a woman who is coming in between you and your spouse. Your spouse may be a fire sign, a fellow fire sign, Aries, Leo, and a fellow Sagittarian. Aries has Uranus in their sign, so they may be acting, if you're with an Aries person, they may be acting very erratically and unpredictably, well, that's the same thing, right? And so that may have been the cause of them straying, or just you feeling like they're going to. So as I said, did I say that this is connected to Libra and Taurus? Especially a person, but the Empress is a very sensual woman, and it's a creative type too. Somebody who lives through the senses. Now, what's coming in is the Five of Pentacles, which is a card of lack. So it's quite a stark contrast from that Empress card. So some of you may be feeling that there's something missing from your marriage. For other people, there may be also, for people who are professionals or, working, you may be an artist. Maybe you quit to do something creatively at home, and you're not seeing the results, the positive income that you want, and it's making you worried that you're not going to make it. And so that may be something that's coming up for you, that your creative endeavor is not paying off. I would say with the Five of Pentacles, to watch for those thoughts of lack, that lack consciousness, because a lot of times it's also neglecting the spiritual dimension, where you're hyper focused on the cold hard cash instead of, what is it? I want to do this thing. And, even like, what do you call it? Even if you want to stay at home with your children, you may be like worried too much about the finances. And, the home, if you have a certain home, I'm always fascinated. I don't have children, but I'm always fascinated by the minimalist lifestyle. Now they're calling it minimalist, but they used to call it simple living. And it's like, how much do you need to live? And when you are raising children, it's amazing how much you can pare down and still have a very rich family life. So Sagittarius, because we are ruled by Jupiter, we tend to think big. And, some of us are really like free spenders. But when you think about it, there's a wealth of money and there's a wealth of time. And, when you live in a simple way, you free up a lot of time. Unless you happen to have the luxury. Well, I shouldn't call it luxury, but because that makes it sound like it's just random luck. But if you have the current reality where you are, working from home, then you probably have a lot more freedom than the average person. But, for those who work for somebody else and you have certain set hours, that can really cut into your sense of freedom because you have limited hours. And so that Five of Pentacles is saying, you're looking at it, you may be just looking at it as the number on the page in the ledger, instead of looking at the other gains that come from what you're trying to do. The higher perspective is the Queen of Swords. If you are going through some kind of marital situation with another person involved, this could either be saying that you need to kind of get a hold of yourself and become more, like the Queen of Swords, be more just like rational and not allow that fiery, that passionate energy, which is very emotional, and, can sometimes rival a water sign where, you know how it is, where you get so emotional that you can't even think straight. You need to become more detached, and that's what the Queen of Swords is. But what's interesting about the Queen of Swords is because you have the combination of the Queen being the feminine and the Swords being the masculine, you still retain that intuition, because you need that. When you're dealing with some situation like that, it's not enough to rely on logic. You need intuition, because logic might tell you that you should do one thing, but intuition will let you see beyond the surface of the situation and know better what to do. Because even within infidelity, it's not always cut and dried. It's, sometimes people cheat for reasons that it never has anything really to do with you. It has to do with how that other person's feeling about themselves, how they're feeling about life in general. And even if there's a problem within the relationship with you, that was how they chose to solve the problem. So this could also be reiterating that it is an air sign. I said it could be narrowing down that it's a Libra individual. And this also could be a mother. So it could be the mother of somebody's child that your partner is still involved with. Maybe you already knew that this person existed, but you didn't know that they were having dalliances together still. What's crossing you is the Seven of Pentacles. So it's kind of like in a reverse position. For some people, now this especially I would see as a business card, where it could be either that you're too you're too willing to cut out. So back to that scenario of somebody who's doing something creatively or on their own, you might be too willing to kind of like give up. And that's the Seven of Pentacles is all about wait and see and trying to assess, you know, if something is really going to pan out. But in the challenged position, it's almost like you're not giving it a chance. There's also a possibility, I suppose, again, that it's funny. This person that I talk about, now it could be that you're the one that has another person, and perhaps it's a Taurus, because we have Taurus. This is an earth sign, okay? And I would say that person, if this is a person that you're with, is probably somebody that is not someone that is a good influence or a good match. And maybe that's just a sexual relationship. Sometimes pentacles indicate sex in the body, and there's like a, with this being almost like a reverse card, it's like this kind of, it's creating problems for you in some way. It's not adding to your life. The advice is the Knight of Cups. So what could this mean? Well, this in general for relationships is talking about a more, I was going to say a more pure form of love, but what I mean is the more romantic versus carnal relationship. And so like allow love to kind of win out rather than lust. And I also think that you have your knight in shining armor there. Maybe you didn't realize that this person was that to you. Maybe you took this person for granted if you're the one that is kind of stepping out on your marriage or your partner. On the other side of the coin, it could be that you know, you need to pursue someone who has the characteristics of the Knight of Cups. So this is somebody who is going to be caring and romantic. Perhaps you were with somebody who was too much of a maybe, you know, maybe you're with a partner who is a sex addict, and that's what threatened your home. You know, I was thinking up here that could be somebody who's compulsive, and they are, you know, and because of it, they are limited in their ability to, you know, to perceive relationships in, you know, a deeper way. Also, in any kind of business situation, it could be an offer that you receive. That's sometimes what the Knight of Cups represents. And interestingly, the outcome is the Two of Pentacles, so that can indicate this also is a job offer. Now, this could be that you accept a job that's overseas or that is, you know, far away over a body of water. It could be that you decide to do two things at once. Maybe you receive a job offer, but you still are going to do your, whatever that creative thing is. Maybe that's how you decide to handle that. It could be if you are in a relationship where one person was going to stay home, that you both decide. Maybe you decide to do, what do they call them? Not split shifts, but where you, yeah, I guess something along those lines where you can, both of you are working part-time, and then you can take care of your child when, you know, the other one is at work. So, you know, whenever you see the number 2, there can be two things happening. For the romantic scenario, it indicates a choice. And again, with the Pentacles, so it could be with somebody who is an earth sign. I mentioned specifically a Taurus. but maybe you're deciding between romance and lust, you know? It's like kind of flanking that Queen of Swords. So, wow, it almost seems like a soap opera, Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed this, and Happy New Year, you guys. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great rest of December. Bye.